MFM episode number 53. Gentlemen and gentle ladies, kids around the world, in America, in New York. Honestly, I'm a little excited today because it's like a concert. I have no idea how this conversation with my dear music colleague and new friend Kaleta will go, because I've never hosted a postcard before, and I'm doing it because I'm taking over from the previous MFM hosts, Adam Reifstack and David Kriegel. If anything goes wrong, excuse me. Speaking of myself, I'm Sorab Sadat Lajavardi, and my musician name is Sosala. And as I said, it's the first time hosting this podcast called MFM Speaks Out. So as the title says, the podcast is going to tell dear listeners stories which you maybe haven't heard before or make you think about things. I hope that this podcast will give you something. And it's the podcast of a musicians' rights organization here in New York, which I founded in 2015. It's called Musicians for Musicians. It's an association of freelance musicians with the idea uniting to advocate for fair pay, respect, and equitable treatment for all of us working musicians through education, networking, and activism in collaboration with other musicians' rights organizations. The reason why I invited Leon Kaleta Ligan-Majekodunmi, did I say it correctly?
Yes.
To this podcast, or my first postcard, is my love to Africa as a continent. Actually, I've always was a fan of African music, especially Senegal, Mali, West Africa, because especially the music style, also the percussion, and so the 6/8 that they play is very close to my home country's 6/8 in Iran. So I had a feeling already from the beginning as a listener and then later as a musician. So when I play with African musicians, rhythm is actually no problem. I can follow them so easily, even without counting. And I was so lucky to become friends with Salif Keita, my Mozart from Mali, and I played with them at Tokyo Blue Note, and then in 2009 in Bamako, even he invited me to play with them, and also a couple of years ago at the Apollo Theater. In my recordings, I also had a couple of Sabah percussionists associated with Baba Mal. When I was in Tokyo and lived there for 35 years, I also met Youssou N'Dour. So I have a feel for Africa somehow. It was very natural that I tried to reach out to African musicians in Africa and also to the African diaspora here and try to get them into our organization. Unfortunately, it's very tough because the mentality of African musicians is different from me and others. To get them the feel for organizing is still a tough game for me. But Kaleta is different. Kaleta is a musician, a person who understands that musicians really need to organize and act collectively and not just play music, but also to speak out. And luckily, he joined MFM last year, which made me I was so happy about him, especially joining MFM, the first African musician. Actually, he's from Benin, so I should say African. So I hope that with Kaleta together, we can get out the MFM mission or export it to his country soon, which is very easy, is organizing and create your own musicians union. That's the only way that you can fight against any kind of exploitation of one's music. Speaking now about Kaleta. Kaleta, do you want me to call you Leon or Kaleta?
Kaleta is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I said, he's the first musician from the African continent on this podcast. And you don't believe it, but he has a 50-year music career. He's something special. And we will find out why he decided to immigrate to the US after a stopover in Lagos, Nigeria. He lives now in New Rochelle, but his main activity in New York is most in Brooklyn, where he has his studio and his office. And he moved to New York in 1991. So he's been here for a long time. And luckily, I'm so happy that I can speak with him in English, because mostly when I'm with African musicians, I have usually language issues. So he started his career in Porto Novo in Benin, played guitar in churches. And somehow, when he was a teenager, he decided to move to Lagos, and he will tell us later why. And in Lagos, he started his career recording and touring with three special musicians. I love King Sunny Adé with him, the juju singer and guitarist, and then with Shina Peters, who is also a juju, but more juju and high life, I guess. Mixture of, no, I'm wrong, right? Shina Peters, he's more high life and Afrobeat, right?
Afrobeat.
Yeah. And then, of course, the most important musician he was able to play with, learn from, suffer with, was Fela Kuti. I don't have to talk too much about Fela Kuti, but Fela Kuti was, and still is for me, the most important music activist of Africa. You can't compare him with Salif Keita or Youssou N'Dour or other people. He is something special, regardless whether you like him as a person or whatever. As a music activist, he was super. And he always said in interviews and so, he wants musicians to organize. He was a collective thinking person. And I think this is something that later we will hear also from Kaleta, how far Fela went into that direction of thinking. And let's stop with the introduction a little with music. Let's listen to King Sunny Adé's E Ma Mi Dupe. It's a track which was composed, arranged, and the guitar work by Kaleta. So let's listen to it.
Too much music at gofreshnow.com.
So, Kaleta, that was a great song. And actually, I know King Sunny Adé from my Japan time because when I was in Japan from 1974 to 2008, in the 70s, he came to Japan for a tour. I couldn't see him at that time because I was so busy in martial arts. But it was very interesting that Sunny Adé really came to Japan in the 70s, and he was invited by Sadao Watanabe. He's the godfather of the Japanese jazz scene. Actually, when Watanabe Sadao came to New York a couple of years and I met him, we talked about it and it was very interesting. So can you tell us a little more about this track?
It is interesting that you did mention Japan, Sunny Adé coming to Japan. I joined the band right after the Japan tour. After the Japan tour, I think the band was fired. It was disbanded. And I saw it in the news. I said, wow, this could be an opportunity for me to join the band.
How old were you?
I was between 17, 18, maybe.
Oh, so young. Okay.
So young. Then coincidentally, he was playing, he came to play in the street, not far from my church. And we could hear him from the church. So right after the church, I went to the street because in Lagos, musician, especially juju music musician, play in the street. It is open street, festival or party all the time. So after the church, I went to him and he was still playing when I came closer to him and told him that I want to play with him. And he said, oh, okay. I should see him the same day. He told his aide to give me a chance to come to the house. So that's how I met him. So I have written that song before I met him.
Oh.
Yeah. I was into juju music, high life music at the church. There was a guy in the church called Mr. J. I remember he was writing similar song and he wrote part of the song. And at that time, the melody was in my head all the time. I said, okay, Sunny Adé might be interested in this thing. So I rewrote the song and arranged it. And I recorded it on the cassette tape. And when he invited me to his house, I handed the cassette over to him. And when he listened to it, he said, wow, we got to record this. So he had a meeting with some of the members that left the band and the new members, and I became one of the new ones. So that was my contribution for joining him. So Eba mi dupe means let's help me thank God. It's just a song of appreciation.
For God.
Yeah, for God. Thank you, God. I appreciate you, some kind of thing.
So the lyrics are then from Sunny Adé.
The lyrics are from me.
So even so the whole song is you.
They're also from me.
But Sunny liked it and said
liked
let's do.
Yes. He had that some refrain, a little bit of touch, but it is in the whole what I gave him that.
So the guitar solo, the guitar playing is you. There was only one guitarist, right?
There were 3 guitarists.
Three. I couldn't hear that.
If we add the bass player, that were before. But juju music, as we know it, modernized, rely on 3 guitars. We have the bass guitar, we have tenor guitar, 2 tenors. King Sunny Adé use 2 tenors.
What do you mean with tenors?
Tenor is the upper string of a guitar. The E, the A, D, and G. Yeah. Only though you don't touch the down or you don't play the solo part. You only play we call it tenor. It was coined by Fela Kuti.
It's like a riff.
It's a riff, yeah. The melody that keep going on and on. But in the case of Fela, there's only one person that plays it. But with Sunny Adé, 2 people play it in harmony. And so we have a tenor guitar, bass guitar, tenor guitar, rhythm guitar, and solo guitar. That's 5.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I hear, I'm never sure whether it's 1 guitar or 2 guitars playing in harmony or a little different. So it's, okay.
Yeah.
I tried to copy this kind of guitar style into my music, but I couldn't find any let's say, white musician to do that. So,
You need a lot of guitar.
yes, okay, good, very good. But you made really history afterwards, playing with Fela Kuti in the 80s and 90s. So you played with Sunny Adé. When did you play? In what year? In the early 80s?
It is hard for me to remember, but
Okay.
I went to discogs.com, and
Yeah.
I think it's between 79 and 82.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Fela Kuti was,
Right after that, Fela Kuti, 83, 84, 85 to 91.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
Shina Peters.
it's,
Shina Peters, I went to Shina Peters when Fela went to jail. So there was nobody to play with. So I went to Shina Peters. And when he came back from jail, I rejoined him again one more time.
Shina Peters let you go? Just go, yeah, okay, go back to, he was so cool.
Yeah, I just left. He has a lot of musicians. He was happy to have me, someone who played with Sunny and Fela. It was great thing. We had a camaraderie. He wanted me around. And when it was time to leave, I just left.
Kaleta, what you did with and Shina and Fela Kuti, how you approached them from really going directly, I want to play with you guys. It's missing in the musicians community here in New York. When I came in 2008, I started as a street musician, and then I had always my saxophone with me when I knew that, for example, Mike Stern was playing at the 55 bar, right? I just took my horn and went to the gig, and when the break happened, I approached the musician. Either they said, okay, sit in for one song, or they said, my musicians don't like that, it's not fair, and so I can pay you, blah, blah, blah. This attitude of approaching musicians who are better than you even needs a lot of courage. When you approach all these three musicians, were you so natural and so direct and went, or were you a little nervous? How was it with all these three musicians?
First, with Fela, I was a little bit nervous because of what I heard about him. I heard so many stories about him. From the time I was in Porto Novo in Benin, I heard about him. But when I came to Lagos, I also heard about him. One thing I heard that people should not go to him. People should not pass through his street. So I was always afraid. But that particular time, after practicing his song, while I was still at the church, I decided to really go to him because I think seeing, believing, that's the attitude I had. And I went there. They won't let me in because they didn't know who I was. The gate was closed. Yeah. And I spoke to them in Yoruba that we speak in Benin, which is a little bit different from that of Nigeria. And they say, oh, this guy.
What is different? The pronunciation or?
The tonality, the word, some of the words. Like, it's the same word, but the way we say it is like when a French man speaks English.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still going to the same thing. So they decided to let me in. But I was told that Fela is sleeping, and he sleep during the day and won't wake up between 2 and 3 early in the morning. And I said, I'm going to stay. I stood there until I heard somebody practicing. I said, yeah, King of Afrobeat is now on. So they asked me to come up, and I went to him, and he asked me, why did I choose to play with him? I said, because I can. He looked at me and said, wow, this guy is audacious. And he gave me a guitar, which I tried. He asked me to play any of his tune, which I played. I played about 2 or 3 tunes. And he said, oh, okay.
His tunes.
It was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday. And Tuesday, there's a free show by him at the shrine. But it's called Ladies' Night, whereby women came and they don't pay, but only men pay. So I was there.
Wait, Kaleta, maybe some people don't know. Yeah. You just mentioned Shrine. Shrine is Fela Kuti's venue in
Lagos.
In Lagos, and it's his It's where he always plays with his band, but it's inside of it's like a community setup. What was the name?
Kalakuta.
Yeah,
No,
Kalakuta.
no, Kalakuta is his residence. It's called Kalakuta.
Ah,
But Shrine is a different venue, which is about
it was outside of Kalakuta.
outside of Kalakuta, about
Ah, good.
five minutes away.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
venue. He plays 4 times a week: Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it was a coincidence that I was there on a Tuesday, so he asked me to come that day. And on getting there, he invited me up, and I just played. He taught me the tune right there in front of everybody.
Oh,
He said, "Okay, this is the song, this is the song." So he played it on keyboard for a few minutes and let me play it. And that's how I played one tune with him and came down. Then I came back on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the rest is history. Yeah.
but let's go back to your younger years, because I know you said you left Benin when you were 13, right? So what is the connection of Benin and Nigeria? You told me that in the province you lived in Benin was very close to Nigeria, to the border, right?
Exactly.
Okay. When you decided to leave your family, your parents, when you were 13, right? Was it
Yeah.
correct? Is it correct?
Yeah, I left for Nigeria when I was 15. I rechecked. The reason why I say that is 2 years after there was this festival called Festac.
Yes.
And I remember I was part of Festac. So 2 years before Festac, till 1975. So I was 15 years old.
Didn't your parents try to stop you 15 years going to a new country with?
That's a good question.
What did your parents?
At 11, my parents had divorced, but my father was a real estate guy who had so many houses. After my mother left for Nigeria, I decided to go to the next house and started living in the other house so I can have more freedom. And that's how I acquired my first guitar, because my father won't let me play guitar anyway. Nobody knew I was into music until I went to Nigeria. It is only maybe 15 years later that my family saw me on video with Sunny Adé. They say, "Wow, when did he learn guitar?" But nobody knew. I kept it secret because nobody in Benin and Port Novo, maybe in most Africa, parents don't want the kids to be musicians because it's not
Makes no money.
There's no money is a kind of,
Yeah.
it's not a career. So I was able to move to Nigeria at younger age. But when I got there, I started teaching French in high school. That's how I started until I decided to go into music for full time while I was playing at the church. Today, I posted a picture of me at 15 playing at the church in Lagos. So you can check it out later.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it
So
on
you learned
Facebook.
English then in Nigeria?
I learned English in Nigeria, but in school we were taught English and Spanish in those days. Even though French was major, we could. And Nigeria is not far from Benin. It is the same culture. We are part of the Yoruba culture. So we could hear English, but we were not speaking it that much until I got to Nigeria.
And Benin is a very small country compared to Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria's 10
Nigeria is
times bigger, maybe.
maybe 100 times.
100, okay. And I know that religion-wise, Benin is a voodoo country.
Number one, the whole world.
Huh?
Number one, voodoo and worshiping.
Actually, we in America, we have voodoo in the South, in New Orleans especially, I think.
Yes.
How do you feel about voodoo as a religion or as a place where people come together and have rituals and try to escape from daily life? How do you feel about voodoo? Is it something you can relate to? Does it have?
I can't relate at all.
You can, okay.
I learned about voodoo when I was outside. I didn't know voodoo when I was in Benin because my father was astute Christian, and he did not let us come closer to anything voodoo. Meanwhile, he was born in the voodoo kind of setup. He was a Christian, So he moved the whole family far away from voodoo, anything. So we didn't know anything about it. So until I got to Nigeria, then I started hearing about voodoo. And when I came to America, I said, wow, voodoo. But I'm not into that culture and I don't understand it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, because you said your father's against music, playing instruments. So how did you learn and practice your guitar? Where? In the
Well,
basement of the house, or?
far away from the house. Sometimes on top of trees, sometimes in the bush. So what happened is that my father was the secretary of the church. So when he come back, he always puts the paper money separately with a rubber band and the coins separately. So every time I go to the room, I would take the coins and keep them until like it was about $1 or $2. And that was the cost of the guitar at that time. It was a plastic toy guitar with
Uh-huh.
6 string. It plays like guitar, maybe like banjo, I don't know.
Right.
But it is not real. It don't sound like a real guitar. Because I was living away, far away from my father's house, maybe 5 minutes away. So I had the liberty to close the whole place and nobody see me. So I would be playing the guitar. I was playing
How
only
did
one,
you learn?
only one string.
What?
Yeah, only the top string. I didn't know how to play the other one. I didn't even know how to tune it. But I was, it was a delight for me to play the upper one because I could just jump and get anything I want to play. That's how I started playing. Fela Ebenezer Obey is one of the legendary juju musicians from Nigeria. He has a hit, and I was practicing that.
What was
But
his name again?
Ebenezer Obey.
Eboniza.
Obey. When you
Obey.
hear King Sunny Adé, you're going to see him because they were the true legendary then. So one day, while I was perched on top of a tree, playing the one string, because I always do that when I see people coming back, passing by, I'll wait when they come nearer, I will play that tenor guitar on the top. And there was the old guy that saw me, he said, come down from the tree. I remember he was a big, heavy set with a white beard. I thought he wanted to punish me because fathers, other people don't want their kids to be a musician. Maybe that was my punishment. So as soon as I came down, he grabbed the guitar and said, wait, that you are playing nonsense. You are playing nonsense. The guitar is not tuned. I said, I don't even know what the tuning. I know the guitar has 6 string. He said, no. So he tuned a whole thing and put my finger on the C note. He said, hold it that way and play it. It was so hard for me to play. I was playing, I was trying. So I held the guitar that way, the chord, the C chord like that, until I went home because I won't let if I leave it, I won't know how to put it back. So I went home, I took a charcoal or maybe a pen and mark the C major chord that the man taught me. And that's it. That was the only lesson I got. Yeah. And I didn't see the man after all. Maybe he was an angel. I don't know who he was. I thought he wanted to punish me. But that's how I started playing. Then after playing the C for a while, I'll put my finger back because I already marked it. I started to come down a little bit and I got to the F. I go up, I saw G. I said, wow. So I started strumming just like that. That's how I got to. Yeah.
Then naturally you got a feeling to hear notes.
Yes. Just the note. Okay.
It's when you have a violin, it doesn't have, what do you call it? You really have to hit the right position in order to get that sound.
To get the sound. Yeah. Yes.
Good. So then, but when you went to say with Sunny Adé, I want to play, how fast did you learn then? How did you listen to records or did you?
Yes, I was listening to mainly James Brown, Fela Kuti, King Sunny Adé, those old small albums, because my father had them then. So my father has a gramophone. Yeah, that goes this way. So I took it, sometimes I would take it to the bush. And when they played and tried to copy whatever I was playing on the records. That's how I started getting the more feel after that before I went to Nigeria. But when I got to Nigeria, I went to the church because the church have all the instruments. So it was easy for me to master.
Get a guitar.
Yeah, within 1 year, I was okay. And I decided to play with King Sunny Adé.
When I said frets, your guitar didn't have a fret, so
Yeah,
you
fretless. It's like
fretless, right?
fretless, yeah.
I'm so old now that sometimes I forget
Oh, I
words.
do that. I know. We all do.
Okay, continuing speaking about your career, you collaborated and performed with Lauryn Hill. How did that happen with Lauryn Hill? Did you also go and say, I want to play with you, Lauryn?
No, she came to me and said, play with me.
Oh.
That's the other way. The
How-
other way around. I was rehearsing with my band. It was called Zozo Afrobeat. Z-O-Z-O Afrobeat. So we were rehearsing in one of the clubs somewhere on West 23rd Street. And someone knocked at the door. And we opened the door. The whole band was there. We were about 13 people. I still have the picture today. And here was this lady that came in. And she said, "Hi, may I come in?" And I look at her. She looked familiar, but I didn't know her.
Recognize her.
I didn't know her name, yeah. So I say, "Hi," I call her a different name. I forgot the name. And she corrected me and said, "No, Miss Hill. Miss Hill." I said, "Oh, okay." And a lady in the band said, "Lauryn Hill." She said, "No, Miss Hill." So that's how I knew she was the one. So
Like James Brown.
yeah, just
I'm Mr. Brown, okay.
yeah, Mr. Brown. So she sat down and she told us that she loved the music of Fela. And I said, "Oh, I play with Fela." I said, "Really? You did?" He said, "Okay." I could hear the vibe from outside. I knew that you are associated with Fela. Okay, so she was there for 1 hour. Then she sent her manager, maybe the driver, I don't know. And they gave me a card to call that number. And I did. And she invited me over. And then a month after, I started touring with her. Just like that. Just a month after.
Great.
So, yeah.
I wish I could do. Yeah, man, you're great. It's not luck. I think also your personality, and you are always at the right place at the right time.
I think so. I think so.
Because you also collaborated with Angelique Kidjo, and of course with Fela's sons, Femi and Shion, very strong musicians. And I read here that you played even at the Apollo Theater, of course. I played at the Apollo Theater also with Salif, but unfortunately, I wasn't so much impressed by the sound on the stage. When you played, how was the sound on the stage? On stage?
I played with Fela 2 nights at Apollo. That's where we came here. I couldn't remember very well. I think there was no problem.
Oh,
I also played there with our Super Young band also. We didn't have any problem with that. It depends on the time, the engineering, or it depends. I won't remember anything bad actually. As long as the monitors are so good, I can hear myself. That's the most important for me. And I can hear everybody in the can. That should be fine.
was Fela then the first African musician to play at the Apollo?
I don't
Or
think
Sunny
so.
Adé maybe before him? I don't.
It is possible that other may have played before. I have no recollection of that. But I know we have 2 nights in 1991.
And how was the audience? Was it packed?
Oh yeah, to the brim, completely packed. Two nights. It was supposed to be 1 night, but because of the turnout, they decided to have another one.
Another one.
Impromptu, yes.
And how did you like well, in Harlem, Apollo is the mecca of soul, Michael Jackson's to soul, whoever played there. Were you excited to play in that venue just because of the venue, Apollo Theater?
Before playing there with Fela Kuti, I did not know about Apollo. I never heard about Apollo.
I see.
We were just told that we are playing in a place called Apollo. So I didn't know it was an important venue. It just happened and I said, oh, it's after the newspaper. Then I started seeing that, wow, we really played at a very important place. And I also played at the Apollo Theatre in London with Lauryn Hill in London.
Ah,
Yeah, I didn't know there is another Apollo Theatre in those days. Yeah, in London. Yeah.
You played also at the Kennedy Center in DC, which is called now Trump Kennedy Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they changed the name. Trump got
Oh,
his name. It's not Kennedy
oh,
Center anymore.
I heard about it, but I didn't know it was that particular place. I was thinking of a different venue. I didn't know that. Okay.
And you also played in Central Park, Summer Stage,
Uh,
and Afropunk. Afropunk, yeah, I've never been to that festival. I wanted. How
Sounds
did you
crazy.
like the Afropunk festival as a
Uh,
whole? Is it
Afro
Afropunk?
punk was punky.
Really punky?
It is nice. People from all walk of life, different kind of music. I think it was a great place to be. Yeah, it was nice.
Good. So you are in Nigeria joining Fela Kuti's band for almost 10 years, and then you come to America to his last tour, right?
Yes, 1991.
A-
The very last tour he did
And then you
outside the country.
decided to become independent. You left Fela Kuti at that time, right?
Yes, I wasn't the only one. We have to recall that Fela was very sick and I could hardly finish the tour. And we noticed that what are we going to go back for? So few people decided that we should stay behind. Out of the 42 people who came, I think we were 12,
Oh,
13, that decided to stay and have our own band, which we did until I decided to do stuff on my own. Shortly after Fela went back to Nigeria, he passed away. He was really sick before,
yes.
during the tour. Yeah.
Oh, I see. And how was it when you decided I stay in America without any knowledge of the country, the people, the culture, starting a new life, a new career? I'm very sure that you even had visa problems because when you left the band, you were on an artist visa, right? Or
Yeah, when we left the band, it wasn't really to stay for a long time. We wanted to play a little bit, then go back. Yeah, that was the plan, and we wanted to. But we were not giving our passport. The passport was taken from us, everybody. So
from
we did,
Fela,
yeah,
manager?
yeah. They took
Oh,
out the passport. That's the norm. It happened all the time. So we were stateless. We have no passport. We have nothing. Yeah. Along the line, we were able to get the passport one by one. I sent someone to Fela Kuti's brother. He was a doctor called Dr. Becker. And I got my passport and got some of the people also passport with them. It was about 6 or 7 passports, I remember. That's how I started.
you got it back in America when you
Yeah,
left?
in America.
Oh.
Yeah, I asked someone to help me get them
Ah,
back from me. And we got our passport back.
and then was it at that time when you, no, your first album was released in 2001. That was the time when you really lived in New York, right?
Yes.
So you left Fela and then you went back to Nigeria and then you came back, right? To
No, I only went to Nigeria just as a trip. I went and came back.
ah,
I did not stay for long. I just went to visit and come back 3 years after.
why I'm asking this question is they say America is a melting pot or New
Yeah,
York is a melting pot.
yeah, it is.
And it's easy for anybody to come and stay in New York, find work, and with the American dream, making it.
Yeah.
But if I think about myself and so being an immigrant in 2008, I don't feel there's any American dream. There's no American dream. It's actually, it got lost or it got stolen by the
Mm,
system, by capitalism. I feel it's more about greed and power in this country. So for people, immigrants who come, who have no strong will or have no idea what they want, they can stay, I think, in this country, or they commit suicide, I don't know, or become mentally sick. So for you, being a family man and have children here, so how is your life now in Brooklyn as a musician as well?
Oh, yes.
Do you like it? Do
I
you
actually,
enjoy being an, I'm sure you're also citizen, right now?
yeah.
how do you feel as a African being an American citizen? May I ask you this question?
I still don't know the meaning of American dream. I know I'm very adventurous. I always wanted to travel around the world, which I already did. I was always curious about cultures, countries, and music as a whole. When I settled down in New York, I knew I have something special that I can work on. And also, I represent Afrobeat in the sense that too many people pass through me. I had so many auditions, hundreds of people passed through me for Afrobeat. And people were curious about Fela Kuti. And when they heard that I did work with Fela, so they were curious, they came closer. And as a reason, I have so many people in different bands, like Zozo Afrobeat, Akoya Afrobeat. I also work with Zongo Junction Afrobeat. Actually, my first album was 1999.
1999.
Yeah,
Okay.
the second one was 1991. The first one was Afropop. And the other one, 1991, was Afrobeat. So that's the difference. That's why I didn't mention the first one.
What
So-
is the Kaleta Ya? Kaleta Ya album.
Yeah, that's Afropop.
And that was in
1991, 1999.
Okay, I saw. Good. I
Yeah.
made a mistake. Okay.
And 1991 is for Zozo Afrobeat, Akoya Afrobeat, and so on. That's Afrobeat. But the other one was Afropop in those days. Yeah.
Ah,
So I had the first album, Afropop, the second one, Afrobeat, the third one, Afrobeat, and the fourth one and fifth one, Afrofunk. That's Super Yamba. It's Afrofunk.
okay. Good. Let's have maybe now some music again. We chose together the Zozo Afrobeat Country of Guns.
Yes.
Let's listen to it and then tell me again what this song is about.
Okay.
important disaster. Hey, everywhere na guns, everywhere na guns, everywhere you born, everywhere na guns, everywhere na guns, everywhere na guns. Hey, for street, for home, for house, for school, post office, highways, parkways, roadways, road rage in America, USA, guns, 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 Igbo, Igbo, guns, 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 everywhere, New York, LA, Chicago, Washington, Miami, guns, 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 where we dey? Make you tell me now, where we dey? Oh, na 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 na.
Okay, Kaleta, that was an interesting song. Describe this tune.
It goes without saying.
Country
So,
of Guns.
Country
Yeah.
of Guns,
It's about America, right?
It's about America. While we were on tour with Fela Kuti, we were in a hotel called Milford Hotel. I remember now. I just saw on the screen news that 4 policemen have been killed. I said, oh, 4 policemen killed? I never heard any kind of news like that before. Even though I came from Lagos, we heard that people kill each other, but I didn't know that will happen. So I say, we must be living in the country of guns. So that's how the title came in. So I say, country of guns, now we day. That means we are living in a country full of guns, millions of guns. That's how I came up. So the same week, we had a show in New Orleans called Titipini or I forgot the name of the place. Titipini or Tipipini, I forgot the name. And in this case, it's a policeman that killed somebody else. I say, oh God. So now it is really country of God. So I decided to finish the lyrics and I released it in 1991. It's called Country of God. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems your music is not just about entertaining and make people dance, but you have, I'm very sure, on every album is telling a story, has a message, right? So you are
Yes.
more of a message musician than
Every song has a story. Yeah. All of my songs have been long stories. Yeah.
Is it correct now how you lined up the bands you played with or were involved from with Afrobeat ensemble to Afrobeat, etc. That can I call you one of the pioneers of Afrobeat in this country? Because it seems like the bands you played with were with members from Antibalas and Kokolo. So it seems like you're really bringing
Yeah,
musicians together and try to
actually,
play the Afrobeat you believe in, the original, than copying.
actually, when I heard Antibalas, I was so impressed. I said, "Wow, this is a
Oh,
band that are really they really understand Afrobeat."
really?
As Fela Kuti, and I
Interesting.
say, "Wow." So I wasn't going to play Afrobeat in America. I wasn't interested at all. I just wanted to play some Afropop or some things from Benin and Nigeria. But when I heard Antibalas, I say, "Wow, these guys are the real deal, man." So I decided I went to their show once and I found that yeah, they are really into it. Kokolo invited me to collaborate with him and we started working together, but we fell apart, some few misunderstanding. Then the people who left Kokolo, about 6 of them, invited me to come and join them. So I was the 7th member. And the band was called Pelotera at that time. So I found that Pelotera did not go with the kind of music we want to play. So I changed it to Akoya. From the word Agbekoya, which means farmers revolt against the government. So yeah, in Nigeria in those days, Fela Kuti's mother helped the farmers to revolt, or the market women to revolt against the government. Because the word is too long and people might have problem pronouncing it, instead of saying Agbekoya, I just say Akoya, which means we refuse to comply with the government mandate or rules. Agbekoya, we refuse to adhere to the government or wish. Yeah. So that's how we got Akoya Afrobeat. But while I was doing Afrobeat, I was also having Zozo Afrobeat on the corner. So when Akoya disbanded, I decided to stick to
So.
Zozo Afrobeat until I started working with Super Yamba, which is a smaller band. Till now, yeah, we're still working.
Interesting. Yeah, you said that Antibalas plays really Afrobeat. What? I don't want to be a racist, but they're all white people, right, in that band. How
Well,
can
not
white
all.
people in America feel Afrobeat, which you said is
Yeah.
really, when very simple. If I go to Spain and want to listen to flamenco music, I want to listen to gypsies flamenco music, right?
Yeah.
When I go to Japan, Japanese classical musicians, or folk music, Japanese. But in the same thing with Afrobeat, I expect, because Afrobeat was created in an African environment, let's call it Nigeria, where the people are born with the music, they are educated with the music, they live the music. Fela doesn't have to explain people in Nigeria what Afrobeat, they have it.
Yes.
But here, if you bring new music, it doesn't matter even if it's any kind of music, you have to explain things to the people here. And then when you try to explain it, then it's not original anymore. It becomes museum music, like Marsalis does with the Lincoln Center, with jazz. Too much explanation. But roots music doesn't need explanation. For me, Afrobeat is roots music.
Yes.
Which started at a certain time, created by the right person, and also developed and went for 10, 20, 30 years, like jazz, right?
Yeah.
So I liked Antibalas, by the way, but I wasn't sure whether I really heard Afrobeat, maybe just a copy. Like for example, the Afrobeat, the Antibalas drummer, does he groove like a Nigerian drummer like Tony Allen or I don't know, whoever?
Yeah.
The groove.
Antibalas is playing something very close to Fela's music. because at that time they were the only one that I could say, wow, I can feel the Afrobeat, because I wasn't playing it. I think after watching them and seeing and hearing them, I decided, okay, let me try that with. After all, I'm an alumni of Afrobeat from Fela Kuti's university called Kaleta. So it was not difficult for me to really play Afrobeat. Up to now, it's just Fela Kuti's band. Fela Kuti for me is like a university where I went to learn real Afrobeat. Even though I had that element of Afrobeat before I joined him, but I wasn't sure of what I was doing until I met him. I said, oh, so he was the godfather of Afrobeat as we know it today. So, like I said, Antibalas was the closest in those days, and they're still doing great.
What about the Broadway Fela? Did you go and see the show, Fela?
Yeah.
The Broadway show?
I was there a couple of times. Actually, I was one of the first people that was recruited as a consultant to work with them. And I really taught the producers about Fela Kuti's allure on stage, how does he go around, all those things. I was one of the first people that really helped Fela on Broadway. Then it wasn't called Fela on Broadway. It was called Fela off Broadway in those days. Yeah. So when it became Fela on Broadway, I didn't have the opportunity or the chance to work with them anymore. But I did work at the beginning, at the onset, when they started. Yeah.
And did you like it?
Oh yeah, I like it.
Was it? Did you
is
hear Fela in the music? Was he there? Was it a good presentation?
Not quite the same, but a lot of things were added that were not really part of Fela. A lot of things have been a little bit distorted, but they have to do it in a way that it will be entertaining. I think that's why. But you could feel Fela presence, but it is a different kind of Fela. Actually, I had a song after that, which I have not released. It is called Fela No Day for Broadway. Fela No Day for Broadway. Fela Day for Lagos. Fela is not in Broadway, or he's not on Broadway. Fela is in Calcutta, is still in Calcutta, Nigeria. So I never released that song. Was released, recorded about 12 years ago. But maybe I will do that. Yeah.
Naturally, now, because we could talk about Afrobeat, there's actually the Grammy started, what do you call it? A category for African pop music. So Afrobeats is featured very strongly. Yeah. How do you feel as one of the pioneers of Afrobeat? Or the let's call you the second generation, right? After Fela.
Yeah.
About Afrobeats. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's a follow-up of Fela's Afrobeat? Because now Fela this year is the 2026 Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award winner. This year. It took him so much. The Grammys. It's true.
Yeah. Yes. He truly deserves it. I'm not surprised at all. This should have happened a long time ago. But there's always time for things. I think, he merited it. And I'm glad that the Grammy Award things is going to him. That's a very good thing. I love it.
And how do you like Afrobeats as a music style?
I think I like every kind of music. It's hard for me to say. It shouldn't have been called Afrobeats, actually. It should have
Who was it? Who said the...
I don't know who said it like that, but it should have been called Afropop.
Afropop.
Yeah, Afropop. It's a pop music, not jazzy. Until they change or have a melange of maybe a pop and jazz, maybe it will be fine. It will be a different kind of genre. But we all know it's Afropop, not Afrobeat. Yeah. It's African music.
If you ask me personally, Sorab, how do you like Afrobeat?
I know what you say.
What?
It is adulterated music. It's done in the house. Like you can just have a computer now and put some beats twist everything and make it more profitable. I think it's a for profit music. It's for just for
And I don't want to be nasty. And it's coming from Nigeria.
of course. I think the youth, I can see why they cannot measure up to Fela. They cannot learn Fela Kuti's music. They don't have the jazz concept. But pop is easier for them. I believe that's why they embrace it. Until one of them comes out and say, okay, I want to play Fela Kuti and all those things. Then like Shina Kuti is playing Afrobeat. He's not playing Afrobeats. So even though he's a young guy, he's still sticking to his father's rules about Afrobeat. Maybe someday they're going to change the name to Afropop, maybe.
Good. After Zozo Afrobeat, as you already mentioned, you found your band in a super Yamba band in Brooklyn.
Yes.
How did you, my paper says in 2017, how did you find them? How did they find you? How did you get together?
Okay, they find me. They knew me before as the frontman of Akwai Afrobeat, but that we didn't get too close to discuss. I think Super Yamba Band was formed by the drummer and his friends from North Carolina, from Greensboro. They all decided they love African music like Senegal, Mali, Guinea, Benin, and Nigeria. So they decided to move to Brooklyn. When they moved to Brooklyn, they formed the band called Super Yamba Band.
What is the meaning of Yamba?
Yamba is marijuana, it's called.
In Yoruba?
Senegalese.
Senegalese.
Senegalese. I didn't know until they told me. I didn't know that. I was playing with marijuana. I didn't know that. So, yeah, when they moved, they composed, they wrote their own songs, but there was no vocal, just instrumental. Until someone who played with me before, a bass player, asked them if they need to add vocal, they should call me, which they did. And the rest is history. I decided to put lyrics on what they have already composed. So that's like
So how do you, so it's a collaboration. It's not your band, right?
It is collaboration. That it is a band called Super Yamba, but when I play with them, it become collaborative. It become Kaleta and Super Yamba band. But when I'm not playing with them, they are Super Yamba. So I went to studio and did vocal to their lyrics. That's how it all started. And the first album, the second album.
So it seems like all members of Yamba band is, now I sound again like a racist, all are white, right?
Not really.
Really?
We have 3 black people, and, and we have 4 white. So I won't say white. I will say Caucasian. But it's a mixture. It is 3, 4, and 7. There's nothing racist about that. We love each other. I've been working with them for 6 years now, and the collaboration is so cool. And much respect for everybody. Everybody respect me. I respect them. And that's why we keep going on. We are starting the next tour in February, in 2 months from now. So we already tour during summer.
Yeah. Do you have a manager?
Yeah.
Booking agent?
Yeah, we do have booking agent. We do have 2 managers. Yes. Yeah.
So you don't have to take care of the...
I don't do anything. I just go to tour. That's all.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And now, and how is, besides of making music, can you live from making music? Or do you have a day job or so besides music?
Yeah, I was working in the past. I was into real estate stuff. And I did every bit of all those, when you first come to America, every job, anything you get.
Sure, of course. Yes.
But for the past 17 years, I've been on music only. And it's good because I have so much material out there. The last time I counted, I don't know. I thought it was 400. It could be 1,000 song outside there. So I get remuneration, I get
Royalties.
royalties, and that's so cool. And
Oh, that's
also,
good.
yeah.
I'm always happy when my fellow musicians, peers, can make money.
Oh, yeah, that's the essence of it.
It's always refreshing.
Yeah.
When you live in New York as a musician and you have family, let's even have one kid and one dog, you need to make at least 100, 120K
Yes.
a year.
Yeah.
And the
That's
average, according to statistics, freelance musicians do, like the good ones, 60 or 70,000 a year.
Yeah.
And when you think that 30% goes into rent, then you don't
Yeah.
have really much money even to buy a nice dress for your lady or a nice suit for your nice man.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm always worried that this nasty economical situation
Yeah.
is a big problem. So hopefully our new mayor, Mr. Mamdani,
Yep.
I would try to meet him and see whether he can do a little more for us musicians, working musicians, as a workforce.
Yeah.
Everybody makes money, but we don't make nothing. If it's a venue, the booker, if it's a restaurant, the restaurant or the bartender, they make more money than we do.
Yes.
And sometimes musicians are, I'm sorry, so stupid that they go with the hat and beg for donation.
Yes.
And this is something I don't want to see happen. And I don't want to see this happen even in Africa, because in Africa is not really different. How is the situation now, you as a professional musician in Nigeria? Can in Nigeria a musician live from music
Oh, yeah.
better than here?
It's better because especially those who play for engagement, street festivals or party, they make more money, especially the Fuji music, Juju music. Those are the one on top. But the youth who have made it and get the money from outside the country, like Davido, Whiskey, those guys are playing Afrobeats. The money comes from outside, not necessarily from Nigeria. Sometimes from Nigeria, but more the gross money they earn come from abroad. You know, that's the best way to live, because there are a lot of youth who worldwide who are into Afrobeat. You know, they enjoyed it, so they are paying a lot of good money and they are making it.
But it's only the crème la crème, the top
Yeah.
musicians. If
Only
I'm now considering more like musicians like you who's 17, 18 and
Yeah.
decided to be professional and stay in Nigeria, in Lagos, of course. Can they make money?
I don't think so. The people who play with Fela, Sunny Adé, and those are not doing good, because most of them have passed away, and most of them are not making money because they are not getting anything from royalty. I'm not making money from Fela either, even though I contributed to his album. I wasn't given the credit. That's one thing about African musicians. They were not given the credit. I got my written credit from King Sunny Adé on 4 albums, which is cool. But with Fela, there was nothing like that, because once you leave the band, when you leave Fela's band, your credit is gone. You cannot. That's the punishment for leaving the king of Afrobeat.
Yeah. So,
You don't get
okay.
nothing in return. Yeah.
So then what about, so then there is no musicians community in Nigeria, right?
There's one. Yeah, there's one in Nigeria. I'm not sure if it's doing well, but it's possible. I haven't heard about them. I used to be a member. I still have my card today. But I think
It's a union.
It's a union, yeah. Just ASCAP, BMI. Yeah.
PRO, performance.
Yeah, they have the Nigerian version of it, yes. Yeah. I don't
So
know much
what
about
member are you here in America? Are you, to which PRO do you?
I'm just on ASCAP.
I'm BMI. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on ASCAP. Yeah.
So for a Nigerian or Beninese musician to live from music, then they have to go to England or to France,
Yes.
especially, right?
France and Belgium, yes.
Belgium.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Why Belgium?
Because I have friends from Benin who are members of the Music Union of Belgium. They told me Not necessarily France. Most of them France, of course. Yeah.
Good. Yes, generally speaking, so you are a happy guy. You can make money. You have your own band, even if you're collaborating. You told me even that you, as a musician, you are a night tripper, right? You love to work at night. You get your inspiration, ideas composing at night, right?
Exactly.
I'm the opposite. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't like at
I don't
night.
sleep, I sleep in the morning. Overnight, I'm always, like if we finish now, I'm going straight for recording and writing song. I've done that this afternoon, but I say at night I do that where everything is quiet, people are sleeping all over, then I can do that. So shall we put a song after this?
Yeah,
Because
which one? Mr.
Yum.
Diva.
Mr. Diva, Super Yum.
Yeah. So let's play Mr. Diva and then let me know how you feel about this. Mr. Diva is a hit for you on Spotify, right? It
Almost 1 million view or stream, something like that.
I thought 400,000. Yeah, you mentioned you have also tracks which are streamed millions.
Yeah, I have 27 million stream with the song called Wake Up. It is a collaboration between Bosk and I and the DJ in Germany called Purple Disco Machine. Yeah, we have a lot of view on that and a few other one also.
Good.
I collaborate with a lot of DJ worldwide, a lot of them. Yeah.
And do you get paid? Is it from the DJs directly or through the PROs in Europe?
Yeah, through ASCAP, as
ASCAP.
former, yes.
So they
and,
get okay.
and other so many. It's just so many companies. I don't get paid straight from the musicians, but as a publisher, as a writer, as a performer, so I get all those all together from different sources. Yeah.
Good. So let's listen now to
Mr. Diva.
Mr. Diva. Not
Yeah.
Mrs. Diva, it's Mr. Diva.
Yeah, Mr. Diva, yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you later why
Right.
the title, yes.
Track number 3. Okay, nice track. Nice. So tell us about the song. How?
Mr. Diva is funny. The song was jointly written by me and some members of Super Yamba. It started with the drummer sending me a tenor part of the guitar. He sent it to me. He said, "What do you think about this?" So he sent it to me. I said, "Oh, we can make a whole song about it." So I started writing the lyrics and some other part of the song. And we met for rehearsal and we all contributed. And it became Mr. Diva. I gave it the title Mr. Diva because I have a friend who came from Georgia to New York and was not well received by her host. And she called me and said, "Wow, it's like I'm stranded in New York. I didn't like the way they received me." I said, "What happened?" So he said, "Oh, that guy who invited me here, whose wife invited me, did not treat me good." I said, "He must be a Mr. Diva." That's how the title came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did I ask you why you chose Kaleta as your artist name, musician name?
Yeah, I call Kaleta means masquerade. This is a mask. You know,
Because in AKA
Kaleta.
Eta.
Okay, yeah, but when people can pronounce re, so they call it le Kaleta. It's the mask that you put on as a kid and dance during some Christmas time to make some money or get some candy. I used to do that as a kid, so the name stuck to it. It's a mask, Kaleta, African mask.
And because when you were born and as a teenager you left Benin to Nigeria, then how do you feel? Are you Nigerian or Beninese or same?
I'm both.
For these two countries. There's two passports then maybe.
Yes, I'm both because I'm from Yoruba tribe also. And the Nigerian states that speak Yoruba are very adjacent to where I was born. So the whole place was Yoruba land in those days. But in 1960, the government first took the other side of Benin and called it Dahomey, and the other side was taken by Nigeria. So as a result, we were stuck in the other side, and we speak Yoruba in French, while in Nigeria they speak Yoruba in English. But we were separated by a border, a non-existent border, because we can just go in any day and come back the same day. So there's no border to real border.
So you can go anywhere into each other countries without any
Yes, you can go to
passport check.
Exactly. From Benin, you can go to Nigeria, come back again, come back. In the same day, you can go 4 or 5 times. So that's how close it is. It's like New Jersey and New York. You can see the bridge.
Yes.
George Washington Bridge. That's it. That's how it is.
When you get older, are you considering to go back to Lagos or to... How do you think will you
That's a
end?
good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I go to Benin and Nigeria every year, 2 or 3 times, or maybe 4 times every year. I think I have not made up my mind if I want to stay in Nigeria or stay in Benin. But I think I'm comfortable here for now because this is the only country that I spend most of my age, my time here.
Yes.
There's no other. I did not spend much in Benin. I did not spend much in Nigeria. I spent the longest years of my life in America. So I'm comfortable here for now because I still have the chance to travel worldwide and go wherever I want easily from here. That's why I stuck to that for now.
Do you have a Benin Nigerian community in Brooklyn where you can feel like home, where you can go a restaurant, meet people?
Not really.
No.
When I first came, yes. But along the line, the only community that I knew so much was the church. The same church I was playing in Nigeria. So that's the only community I can say, oh, okay, I can feel at home. But when it comes to meeting Benin, people from Benin, I think like it is in music, African music, people are too busy working. Most musicians I know from Nigeria and Benin are working. they don't have time for music. And music is not profitable unless you have an agent and manager that can put you on the road. That's the only, but most of them don't have that. So that's why there's no community per se. Yeah.
Good. Now, because in America we have also the Afro-American, the black community in this
Yeah.
country. They're all, when you play, do you have how many black people in the audience? Do you feel that the Afro-American community, even musicians, are interested in African music? Is there a good feeling between?
My audience are usually 70 to 80% Caucasian or white. Only few blacks. I don't know, maybe they come into Afrofunk and Afrobeat. The community, it depends because the band primarily came from North Carolina. That could be one of the reasons why we have a very white audience. That might be the reason. But it is hard to say exactly why, but I believe it had to do with the agent and the managers, maybe.
I see. Me personally, as a musician, when I had my first band, I had 2 Senegalese musicians on Sabar and a black American on bass and guitar, also black.
Okay.
I couldn't bring them together emotionally, spiritually. I could feel it was like they talk, the black talk, the Americans, black American talk were one group, and I tried to bring them together, was impossible. And once I was very angry, and I said, man, we are bad. Even if I'm the leader, I want you to be a united group of people. It's so hard. And when I go to Harlem, I can see that the black American community is not interested in the African. They have their own bazaars.
Yes.
It's not together. And they say black are coming from Africa. Their roots are Africa. We had Martin Luther King. We had Muhammad Ali. They all went to Africa and to find, even Sandra went.
Yeah.
This is disappointing for me that it's not really melting in this country, in this city.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. It depends on the awareness. The awareness is a very important thing. If the black communities are really aware of Africa, I think there will be unity. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Yeah, I observe that too. Yeah.
Okay. You and I, we should bring really musicians together. That's up.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to do that.
One thing as a musician, for me, the most important musician in the band is the drummer, somehow.
Yeah.
For me, if the drummer can play and is in sync with me, the whole band is together.
Yeah.
So when I played with Salif Keita, the same. I had always a good feel with his drummers. And with Fela Kuti and Tony Allen, I can feel that Tony Allen was as important as Fela, if I'm correct.
It is. Yeah.
And he was even sometimes more important than Fela because he was the leading.
He came the groove. Yeah.
So in your case, when you choose a drummer, do you choose the drummer because he makes your music really grooving, funky, whatever? Is the drummer for you also important?
Very important. I'm not always looking for excellency or as a whole. If someone has a basic knowledge of the rhythm or the groove, that's enough, because by working with him, the drummer, we're going to get to the point whereby I agree. Every drummer I work with, always have the savoir-faire of that thing first before we can jump to any other thing. It's not a place to come and learn. It's a place to know what you play, you can play, then you can graduate and make it better. So the more we work together, the more the drummer get the groove easily and work on it. They won't come to me if they don't know it anyway. They already have the knowledge before coming to me.
Good.
I'm not going to compare them to Tony Allen or all those things, because it's a different thing. They have a good knowledge of Afrobeat as well.
But they copy Tony Allen, right?
Oh yeah, I think every drummer who is into Afrobeat, listen to Tony Allen. God, he's a legendary guy that there's no Afrobeat without him.
Because you played in Egypt 80, the second generation of Fela Kuti's band.
Yes.
So you didn't have the chance to play with Tony Allen, right? He was in the
No.
70s.
No, he left before I joined the band.
Did you miss him?
I never met him with
Oh,
Fela.
really?
I met him outside after he left the band.
And how was the communication?
It was good. He's a very nice guy, cool guy. When he left Fela, he came back 10 years after, and I met him at the shrine in Lagos.
Huh?
I was also met him in Brooklyn. I met him in Manhattan. It was personal meeting. It's not through the band. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Allen and Fela like James Brown and Clyde Stubblefield. So I thought maybe you are also trying to
Oh yeah.
to find your own drummer.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit far from that. Jay Fela at a different time. Tony left when the band was called Africa 70. I joined at Egypt 80. So the music have changed dramatically then.
Why did Fela call Egypt 70? Why Egypt? Is it because
He believed that Egypt is a cradle of civilization. He believed that Egypt is a very authentic Africa. So he coined it. But he was about to change the name again for 20 years, but he couldn't leave because he was discussing about that. He had a different name for Afrobeat, but he didn't live to implement it. Yeah.
Good. Now we're getting close to the end. Now I just want to ask general questions.
Okay.
If there's anything you want to add, please, you're welcome. Did you have the chance to listen to the Spotify podcast, Fela Kuti, Fear No Man? Actually, I was surprised that you were not in it. No, Sandra was there, of course, Fela's muse and his manager. And who else? Michael Veal was mentioned, who wrote the biography. Did you read Michael Veal's Fela's biography?
Not yet. I know about the book, but I have not read a little bit of subs of the band, but the book, but I haven't read it in entirety. But I think I will do that.
I looked for your name in it. You're not in it, unfortunately.
Oh, yes. It's not a surprise that I'm not in it. There were some, I heard about it. They gave me a hint. They wanted to interview me too, but along the line, I think Fela Kuti's family did not want everyone, or especially most people who worked with Fela before, to be in it. I knew it's going to be that way, but I knew about the podcast before it came out. Same thing as Fela on Broadway. I think it is a family affair, and they probably didn't want former members of the band, of Fela Kuti's band, to be in it, actually. But Dele Shosimi was in it. I can understand why. He was very close to Fela and Fela Kuti also. Also, I don't have to be in it to prove that I've been through.
No, that's not what I mean. But I think
I'm
you
talking.
played an important role. You were there. You made history.
Yeah, if they wanted me to be in it, I would have been in it. It is, like I said, it's a family affair, and they don't want everybody else to be part of it. Yeah.
That I already explained why I like Fela so much, regardless how he treated women and musicians. And also the end was really, he was getting really in a different...
Drifting,
yeah. But the main thing I liked about it is he was the first and still the last one I know of a musician in Africa who really cared about activism. He was an activist.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and I know you are also an activist, and you told me already that you don't want to go so far like him. It's not necessary at this time. But what is so disappointing is that when the Calcutta Republic Commune was attacked by soldiers, I heard in that Spotify podcast, Fear No Man, the attacked, fire, everything was crazy, people were killed, but outside there were thousands of people. Yeah. And they said 60,000 people watching how the soldiers invaded Calcutta.
Kaleta,
throw
yeah.
the mother out of the window, Fela's mother, and killing people, raping people, and nobody did anything. And when I heard that, I was so disappointed. I said, 60,000 watching? They just had to run down. That was the chance for Nigerian to rise up. They missed it. It was,
Yes,
and
it was so unfortunate.
why did they only watch? Why do you think so?
They would have been killed too. The soldiers would have shot so many people, which was the norm. People die in Nigeria during protests like that. If they were to protest against soldiers or putting fire on Fela's house, I think the army would have shot so many people. So a lot of people would have died. That might be the reason why nobody intervened. And also, it's the Fela. People don't know what to do. The place was attacked to silence him. Unfortunately, it made him even louder.
My first home country is Iran, and we have a religious dictatorship for 50 years.
Yeah.
And every time when there's an uprising, there's always a chance, but it doesn't go 100%.
Yeah.
And the reason is, I don't know what the reason is. It's like people really need to suffer and die for years, that finally the whole group has the courage to even to die. 60,000 can be killed by 1,000 soldiers. I don't know. It's impossible.
1,000 could be killed by 1,000.
Yes, of course.
By
But the 1,000 are martyr.
At least
And
1,000 will die. There will be bloodshed.
we have now the same problem in Uganda with Bobby Wine, right?
Yeah. Same thing.
It's African country. I don't know anybody who's from outside trying to support his movement. It's unfortunate always.
Every
You are
country in
alone.
Africa has somebody like that. Nigeria still have people like that. Not like Fela, but some people are standing their ground. There's one guy, I forgot his name, Abdul Raham or something. He's a musician. He's standing his ground. And
Oh,
yeah, he's an activist. I will send you his link later. Yeah, he's from Nigeria. He's a musician. And he's not afraid. He say what he wants to say. And government doesn't like him anyway.
then we have from Zimbabwe, Thomas Mapfumo,
Oh, yeah.
who is in Oregon.
Yeah. Thomas passed away, right?
No, he is still alive. Actually,
Fumo?
Tom Mapfumo.
I think so. Let me check.
No, he's alive because
Oh, okay.
because next year MFM I'm with Banning Air. I want to have a panel discussion with
Okay.
them, like we did.
Okay, maybe he was having health challenges in those days. I can't remember. That might be the reason why. Yeah. But he's no longer in the limelight. I don't hear much about him.
No, he isn't because he's in America, and
He doesn't.
if you want to make a revolution, you must be in that country,
Yes,
in your
that's true.
country. Outside, you can't do much.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why Mandela was successful, Martin Luther King as well. Yeah. So one of my last questions is about the Festac 77 festival.
Okay.
And why? Because this festival advocated Pan-Africanism, and Fela was, again, the first guy who wasn't Pan-African. Do you call yourself a Pan-African?
My activism is not by way of mouth or making noise. It is in my songs. The song I wrote have the effect of activism, but I'm not a guy that come out and make noise or fight physical, all those stuff. I'm a quiet one.
I think that's okay, as far as you do it with music.
Yeah.
And it touches people's hearts and brains,
Yeah.
and it gives them some courage to think about how to change things now and for the future. I think it's a good job. Everybody has his own talent.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't have to be like Fela.
No.
Maybe Fela was a little dumb. If he had a little more brain, he could have done things differently.
Oh, he did what he had to do, and
Yes.
the effect is still on. He did so well. He made his fame popular, not through not only through action, but also through his music. Yeah, I think it is rare to find somebody like that in Africa.
Yes, true.
Yeah, he was not afraid to die. And that's a recommendation. Nobody wants to die in Africa for Africa.
Yes. This. So it doesn't look good for the future for Africa. It will keep going like this,
Yes.
manipulated by the colonists from the Europeans to America, and then now China. China is
The neocolonialism.
Yes.
That's a new thing going on now. A different country, different name, but the same mandate, the same thing. If China take over, Russia take over, it's still going to be the same, but it's just going to
Right.
change hand, that's all. Yeah, it's a
Last
new-
question again.
Okay.
Festac 77 Festival. I was really excited when I heard about it, which was the second World Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture. You said you were there, right?
Yeah, that was there.
How was it? Did you play maybe?
I didn't play. I helped set up stages for musicians. Yeah, I didn't have a band. Also, I didn't join Fela, I didn't join Sunny, nobody. I was a church member, a guitar player at the church. But because the venue was not far from me, I could just walk there. So that's how I came closer to the building, to the monument.
So did you see, I heard that Stevie Wonder was there.
Yes, I saw
Uh,
him on TV. I didn't see him.
So you didn't see any of the foreign stars.
All of them were singing. on
Paul
TV.
Simon was there, I think.
Yeah, I saw it on TV because it's a different venue, stadium, different places. Every evening I go home, I watch the TV and I see them. Yeah.
And did this festival has achieved any impact on anything? I don't know, like that musicians, not only musicians, but that after the
Yeah.
festival, a new,
Not really, just a little bit. It was, according to Fela, it was done to siphon money, to steal money. That's what Fela said.
so he did actually separately his festlag, right?
Oh, he didn't take part of it.
Yeah, but he did at the
He-
shrine
He played at the shrine, but
on
I'm not sure.
purpose, and then Stevie Wonder and all these people went and saw him there.
Yeah, I think it did
That was
something.
good.
Yeah.
That was very good.
He did his own. Is when we had the war, he's all there, and Prince decided to do his own thing. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Kaleta. I mean,
You
it was
too.
very nice, very informative conversation. And I hope that with this podcast, we can attract African musicians from any country from the continent to
Yeah.
reach out to you, maybe even to join MFM. I hope that in your case, that, you should get a Grammy soon.
Inshallah.
So you know what? Let's end then our conversation with the tune which I really like,
Yeah. I took a blue. Yeah.
played with your band, with the collaboration band Kaleta and Afro Yamba,
Yeah.
Afro Super Yamba. Before we play, can you say what the title is about and why I like it? Because it reminds me a lot of desert blues,
Yes.
like Tinaraven, this
Yes.
Tuareg sound.
Yes. My family music is called Ajuga. In every family in Port Novo or Benin, for family organized musicians within the family. My family's band is called Ajuga. It's only played by women during special festival or fest. So I decided that, okay, I want something from the root. So I decided to write that song, Ajo, and give it that tonation of desert, Sahara feel, a little bit from the north. And that's how I came up with it.
And it's in
So,
6/8, right?
yeah, it's in Sise. And Uga, if you Google it, you're going to see women playing that music, kind of music. But I call it blues because it's a little bit bluesy also. So that's why I
It's
call it.
pentatonic.
Yeah, pentatonic. Ajuga.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Good.
a family affair. Yes.
Okay, Kaleta,
Thank you
let's
for
play
having
the
me.
song and let's try it again. with
Okay,
new stories. I'm sure I have many more questions for you.
no problem. I'm ready anytime. Let me know.
Okay. I love
Okay.
you.
Me too. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for the
pleasure.
conversation.
Okay.